If you can't handle the heat, better get out of Texas. Record-breaking temperatures are projected across the state this week. But what's coming to your neighborhood? Stick around for details. Plus, as tourism season draws near, inflation is causing fear. Neighborhood News reporter Michaela Chavez is investigating how rising prices will affect your family vacation. KRIS 6 News starts now. And we thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Lascano. We begin tonight checking on state legislation from Austin. A new bill is proposing that the Texas legislature get rid of traditional STAR testing. House Bill 4 would change it to 3 shorter online tests throughout the school year and eliminate social studies exams for grades 3 through 8. Some say it's a step back, but others, like Dr. Nancy Vetta, see it as a step forward toward getting students to learn because they want to, not because they have to.
If we don't have a history standardized tests, we'll have history in the making with our children because they'll want to be more engaged. They're going to want to be more involved. It's going to be fun and not boring.
House Bill 4 still making its way through the legislature, but if approved, it could go into effect as early as next year. Well, there have been a lot of changes to Texas education during this legislative session. Senate Bill 2, also known as the School Choice Voucher Bill, was signed into law last week by Governor Greg Abbott. The bill gives families a portion of taxpayer dollars to fund their children's education at a private school or to pay for school-related expenses. The law goes into effect September 1st, and the program is expected to launch sometime next year. New information tonight on Sunday morning's fatal shooting on the city's south side. The medical examiner's office has identified the victim as 38-year-old Joe Damian Magayan. Police say he was shot and killed early Sunday morning after getting into a fight on Sherrill Drive near Manshine Boulevard. 2 17-year-olds, Michael Gonzalez and John Salazar, have been charged with Magayan's murder. A witness telling police that the fight was over an unpaid debt. So we've already been feeling the heat early this week, and the rest of Texas is as well. More than 6 million people across Texas are under National Weather Service heat advisories today and tomorrow. Listen to this. In Austin, Wednesday's forecasted high of 107 degrees would make it the city's hottest day in May of all time. 107 degrees. So records are being broken north of us, but what about the temperatures in your neighborhood? We welcome meteorologist Julia Quady. Should neighbors be expecting the heat wave for the rest of this week and into next week?
Yes, we'll still be looking at temperatures well above average, at least in towards the lower 90s. The worst of this heat is going to be tomorrow and Thursday.
Okay.
But so for today, though, just to make note of it, we did end up tying our old record set back in 2024 of 93 degrees recorded here in Corpus Christi at CCIA. So we told you about that oppressive heat is on here in the coastal bend, but we can see when you're at least on the inside in some air conditioning like we are in the moment, taking this view in from Snoopy's Pier, sponsored by CCAC. Things are looking gorgeous out there, plentiful sunshine, still blue skies out there as well. But again, this look is deceiving because it looks nice out there when you're in some air conditioning. Stepping out towards this type of heat, it feels very dangerously hot and oppressive throughout the coastal bend. Areas west of 281 looking at air temperatures well towards the triple digits, as well as there feels like temperatures towards that range as well. Here in Corpus Christi, currently sitting at 89 degrees, with a feel like temperature currently at 98, just now finally dropping out of the triple digits. But throughout majority of the coastal bend, still under that heat advisory until 8 o'clock tonight. More details in your full forecast coming up in a bit.
Thanks, Julia. We'll look forward to it. Now, when the heat sets in, remember there are places spread out across the city to cool off. All city libraries and senior centers will be open as cooling centers. Neighbors are invited to stop by during normal business hours, and those hours vary depending on the location. But remember, CCRTA is offering free rides. All you have to do is tell the bus driver you're traveling to a cooling center.
With summer around the corner, you'll soon be hearing what everyone's vacation plans are. That is, if they're taking one this year. I'm your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter Michaela Chavez downtown. Are people still planning to get away this summer break? And if so, is affordability top of mind? I spoke with the new CEO of Visit Corpus Christi, Brooke Kaufman. She and her staff just got back from National Tourism Week. Here's what they learned.
National statistics show that tourism is still on the rise, so the intent to travel is very strong.
And that holds true for neighbors right here in Corpus Christi.
We would go on vacation a lot, even as a kid.
Two women I spoke with Monday afternoon tell me Corpus Christi actually used to be their vacation spot. Now, they both call it home.
My husband and I would always go to vacation here in Corpus when we were dating.
Every year it's planned that they will come back. Plus I have 5 boys and a girl, and everybody wants to come. It's just a matter of scheduling it with their work at home.
Kaufman says hotel occupancy rates have been a little low in the past years, but it's still an overall increase since 2019. And they expect that steady increase to continue this summer.
Post-COVID, we still have seen just epic amounts of recovery compared to where we were with the visitor economy prior. You can see that like 22, 23, 24, everything still feels very stable. We're again going to see that in 2025.
Some I spoke with on and off camera tell me the economy won't stop their families from taking a vacation this summer. In fact, it seems to be on their side.
The flights have been really cheap lately coming to Corpus from Cleveland, Ohio. We've already looked into that.
Others have to change their plans a bit due to unexpected expenses.
There are things that we had wanted to do this summer, but now we can't. We're set back a little bit, but we're just making the best of it here in Corpus.
But because Corpus Christi is more affordable than other cities, those change of plans just means the family might have to head this way instead.
I have a lot of friends that have told me that I need to fix a room up so they can come stay the weekend because they want to come fishing and crabbing and go deep sea fishing with us.
A couple of the sites we want to see are the Botanical Gardens at Lexington and possibly the Slovenia Museum.
Most visitors we see here in Corpus Christi are in-state. Visit Corpus Christi says the influx of visitors usually starts around Memorial Day weekend and lasts until September.
One of the neat things is obviously just came out that gas prices are going to be down, which is really great for the road tripper. So we anticipate that will also impact the families in Texas who say we maybe want to spend less, maybe we're a little bit nervous, but so it's a good affordable or a good value.
Visit Corpus Christi CEO Brooke Kaufman says that their economic impact numbers show that 28,000 people here in Corpus Christi have jobs in some way related to the tourist economy. With your neighborhood news downtown, I'm your Sunrise reporter Michaela Chavez, KRIS 6 News.
Kayla, thanks for that report. Now, as you can see, inflation is affecting how some people are planning their summer vacations here to the coastal bend. But what about the prices of everyday needs like groceries? Scripps News Group's Maya Rodriguez examines the latest data surrounding inflation.
Prices rose more slowly in April, marking another month of cooling inflation. Consumer prices rose just 0.2% from March, and they are up 2.3% from a year ago. That's the lowest annual increase since February 2021. The new data suggests President Trump's tariffs haven't quite caught up with current prices.
We didn't see much evidence of tariffs in the numbers yet, which is concerning because it's like the tidal wave that we know is coming.
A report from the Yale Budget Lab estimates current tariffs will increase prices by 1.7% in the short run, costing the average household about $2,800 a year. That increase wasn't apparent in the April CPI data for two reasons, according to Director of Economics at the Yale Budget Lab, Ernie Tedeschi.
Tariffs weren't in effect for all of April. I think the second reason is that we know from spending data and import data that businesses and consumers anticipated tariffs and bought ahead of them. There had been some stockpiling going on, and that probably cushioned the effect, at least in the short run.
Economists say consumers will likely start to see more of the impacts soon, and future data will reflect that.
I would be genuinely surprised if we didn't see some evidence in next month's CPI.
But Tedeschi cautions that could change as the Trump administration's tariff policies remain fluid. Maya Rodriguez, Scripps News Group, Washington.
All right, let's take a look at SPID. The heat isn't stopping drivers from packing those roads and on their way home to cool off and rest after a long day at the office. We're going to take a look at your traffic report and some changes to your roadways when we come back.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
All right, so neighbors in Alice continue to rally and recover after Thursday's storm ravaged that community. Neighborhood News reporter Melissa Trevino spoke with 79-year-old Gloria Carvajal, who owned 2 mobile homes on County Road 133 near Highway 44. After last week's storms, one was turned on its side and the other one is pretty much gone. She says she's grateful the damage was to her property and not her loved ones.
If they would have been here, they would have been in the trailer and they would have turned, or I don't know, maybe they would have been killed. And I'm glad that at least we're trying to pick up this mess and not having a funeral.
Ms. Carvajal also told Melissa that they don't have insurance, but they're going to find a way to rebuild. She also told Melissa that she's going to take advantage of available county resources. All right, bad news for your furry friend, because as of today, the West Guth Dog Park is temporarily closed. City says it's closed for maintenance. Right now, it's scheduled to reopen Friday, May 23rd. That's a week from this coming Friday. The dog park on Upriver Road is brand new. It opened for the first time back on February the 1st. All right, well, listen to this now. Upgrades coming to the city's south side near the HEB Plus on Saratoga. City Council approved a construction contract with Mako Contracting to work on Huntwick Avenue. Project will have new pavement, sidewalks, curbs, and gutters on Huntwick from South Staple Street to the HEB Plus. It's estimated to cost about $950,000. Using Type B funds, the construction is expected to begin in June and be done with by November. So now let's swing things over to Julia Quady one more time for a look at the rush hour traffic. Oh, Jules.
All right, now taking it outside, looking at our sky cam over SPID, you can see a lot more folks hitting those roadways, maybe making their way on home. For sure have all those windows rolled up, because this is not the type of heat where you want to maybe have that moisture and all that heat coming in from those gusty winds. Instead, you want to have that air conditioner turned all the way up to give your body a chance to cool down. Right now, taking a look at our roadways, heading from Portland over to the Harbor Bridge, looking at pretty easy driving conditions at the moment. Heading on over to downtown, all clear on Ocean Drive as well as on SPID. Heading on Saratoga, you can see a bit of a mix of some median speed that you might encounter throughout both directions. Same thing heading on over to Flower Bluff on Waldron Road and Flower Bluff Drive, but you got clear driving conditions going to and from the island on the JFK Causeway. That's it for Triport. More details in your forecast coming up. Hey there, good afternoon. Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Julia Quady. Got gorgeous beach weather out there here in the Coastal Bend. If you like that summertime like heat, that is well baked into our forecast for us this week. Right now, taking a look at our live stand Dollar City Sky Cam over in Port Aransas. Can only see maybe a few cars out there with some folks taking advantage of the summer-like weather. Gorgeous blue skies and, of course, ample sunshine that's going to add towards that heat that we're feeling all across the Coastal Bend. But first, let me make note of one important note. We did say that we will be looking at near record or record-breaking high temperatures here in the forecast this week, and today we did it. We ended up having a tied record high temperature here in CCIA, having a temperature of 93 degrees, matching our old record set back in 2024. So again, these well above average temperatures are set to continue for us this week, but again, that summertime like heat, making it for oppressive weather if you're not careful and making sure you're practicing heat safety. You just need to make sure you have that top of mind for us in the forecast right now as things will continue to stay in this fashion. Here in Corpus Christi right now, seeing our drop in our temperatures now towards the upper 80s at 89 degrees, but still feels like 98. And looking at locations in neighborhoods west of 281, you can see you guys are still looking at your temperatures, your air temperature specifically, still above the triple digits, with your feel like temperatures still towards that range as well. So it's still very much necessary for have those heat alerts continue to be in place, specifically those heat advisories that have been in place until at least at 1 o'clock this afternoon, will continue to be in place until 8 o'clock tonight. As you can see, all these areas and counties in the shade of orange, you guys will all be experiencing those feel like temperatures ranging from 110 all the way up to 114 degrees for at least 2 hours or more. Most areas looking to be longer than 2 hours for the remainder of our afternoon. So again, keep practicing heat safety throughout the remainder of our day. And as we look ahead towards tomorrow, because that heat risk, even though we have some locations having along the coast under that minor risk, majority of us are under that moderate zone for heat risk today. And that only looks to worsen ahead for tomorrow. Going to see more inland neighborhoods and counties in the Coastal Bend under a major to extreme risk So that's level 3 out of 4 for heat danger in the forecast. And then looking ahead towards your Thursday, more of us will be under that major risk for heat danger as we see that extension of oppressive heat with that increase in moisture and humidity thanks to those southeasterly winds that have now started to come in full force. That's only going to add towards our humidity, therefore increasing our feel like temperatures to remain in that dangerous zone that we found ourselves to be in for today. So right now, speaking of those winds, they're going at a pretty gusty pace, upwards around 20 miles an hour throughout portions of coastal bend. That's going to be a continuous trend for us this week, at least until your Friday. We'll still see those winds clocking around 20 to 25 miles an hour with wind gusts upwards around 30. But again, with this weather pattern, we see this ridging that's going to continue to be impacting us here in South Texas, causing us to see this repeated weather pattern this week of intense heat, dangerous heat that's going to lead to these near record or record-breaking high temperatures that like we experienced today and that we could experience ahead for tomorrow. So we'll have a forecast high temperature of 96 degrees tomorrow on your Wednesday. Could be just shy of our old record set back in 2024 of 97 degrees. And again, another repeat of that fashion potentially ahead for us on your Thursday. Now, again, I don't want to harp on it too much, but it's just making sure we're driving this point home. You want to make sure you continue to practice heat safety because that dangerous heat that I mentioned with those near record-breaking temperatures, that's just our air temperatures. It's not how it feels towards your body. We'll still be having those feel-like temperatures into the triple digits, so make sure you take all these tips to heart and practice them to keep yourself safe throughout the rest of this week as we take a look at your 7-day forecast.
He's known for his bright spirit, eccentric style, and of course, those boots. But now, Ronnie Pointy Boots Mathis is in the fight of his life. I'm Alexis Scott, your neighborhood news reporter, and I'll tell you why Ronnie is asking his community for support. He's been the unofficial hype man of Corpus Christi. To many, he's also a community icon. But now, Ronnie Pointy Boots Mathis is facing his biggest challenge yet, cancer. I'm Alexis Scott, your neighborhood news reporter on the West Side, highlighting his impact to the community.
I had a plan. It wasn't just style. I had a plan. I really didn't want to die on nobody.
Known for his distinct and vibrant style, Ronnie Pointy Boots Mathis grew up on Corpus Christi's West Side his whole life. Though he was inspired by his twin brother, Donnie, Ronnie takes pride in his unique style.
Then I just took it to another level. I always take things to another. I'm 2 minutes older than him.
From special events to festivals, Ronnie has touched lives with his colorful suits and sharp shoes. He spent decades turning heads, but now even the flashiest wardrobe can't hide the weight that he carries. A few weeks ago, he was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer, which has now spread through his body.
They can't stop the cancer. It's spread it now. It ain't stopped nothing. I'm going to show people how to leave this place.
Doctors gave him 6 months to a year to live. His family encouraging him to fight, but know the journey he has ahead.
I said to myself, I'm going to stick with him. I got to stick with my brother because even though he has a twin, it's always been me and Ronnie.
So it's really difficult and hard to, even think about and comprehend, but God has the last word, so.
Even local artist Allison Shucks was moved by Ronnie's unforgettable style. She picked up her paintbrush and brought him to life on canvas.
It's something that had to be done, and I think maybe guidance from above,
A GoFundMe has been set up to help with medical and living expenses, including a new bike to help him get to and from his doctor's appointments.
No, it ain't sad. I did all I could. We all got our day. And the Lord don't make no mistakes.
If you're interested in supporting Ronnie's GoFundMe, we'll have details on ChrisTV.com. On the West Side, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Alexis Scott, Chris 6 News.
Alexis, thanks for that report. That man always has a positive attitude whenever you get a chance to meet him and talk to him. So, we've established that it's hot outside. We hope you're staying cool on your Tuesday evening, but don't go anywhere because we have more news and your 7-day forecast coming up. All right, so burrito season. Yeah, burrito season about to get even crazier here in Corpus Christi because a second Chipotle restaurant's coming to your neighborhood. A sketch circulating on social media shows the new spot will be built right there on the corner of Saratoga and Cimarron. Representatives from Chipotle tell us it's expected to be open later this year. They expect to offer as many as 30 jobs at the new place. You can apply online at Chipotle's website. I have a feeling, I don't know this for a fact, but I have a feeling that the first person in line, once they say open for business,
It
right
will
here,
be
ladies
me.
and gentlemen.
I will be there first day.
Your
first
favorite.
out. I love
Your
Chipotle.
favorite. There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Now I feel like my dinner's been decided for tonight. It has to be Chipotle. now, because now it's just inundated in my brain.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's good food.
It is. It's good. Better than Freebirds, right, Richie? Anyway, look at our 7-day forecast. We can see we're looking at intense heat, near record high temperatures that will last out the majority of our work week. Just make sure you're practicing heat safety. Get some time to spend some time in some air conditioning and stay hydrated because that heat is lasting even ahead towards this weekend.
Okay, I guess summer's here.
Yes, it is.
Already? Wow. Well, listen, I'll tell you what, that's all our time for now, but we're going to be back at 6 with more news from your neighborhood. We'll see you then.